Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we see will defy explanation. If you wanna view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world? There's nothing to it. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we see will defy explanation. If you wanna view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world?
The People's Champion, Itepwakuian. Watch out for the medallions. My diamonds are reckless. It feels like a midget is hanging from my necklace.
We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, it is he, it is me, P-double-D, Itepwakuian, in a place to be reviews. Right here with all of yous. No, it's not the ghost of Christmas past, but I will still be here to beat that ass. The People's Champion in the house on Wednesday night, going rogue. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. We got a great show planned for you tonight. Let me kick it over to my co-host with the most, Mr. Tony Tone Deaf.
It's the owner of the worst channel on YouTube and commander to the Legion. The Legion, the armies of deaf heads, the world's wokest warrior, primitive-sided, toxic fanboy aligned with the like-minded, Tony Tone Deaf rocking with you. We're going in rogue the place to be reviews. What's up, everybody on the panel? Everyone out there in the chat, how are you doing? Hail Keely Chow. Hail Superfan Adam Shawhan. Hail Brutal Morningwood. Hail everybody out there. I'm too lazy to scroll up to see anyone else in the chat, so hail you too.
Thank you, as always, Tony. And our guest this evening, making his return to the program, ladies and gentlemen, Chris from It's a Vase Productions. Welcome back, brother.
What's going on? Glad to be here. Excited for the show.
Happy to have you back on, man. And congrats on getting up over that 1,000 mark, dude.
Congrats.
Congratulations, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. That is it's always a good thing to see, you know, the smaller channels and bop. Next thing you know, you're up over 1K. I love it, man. We're at 749 right now, so almost at 750, says Mike Epps from fucking All About the Benjamins, man. We're getting there slow but sure. Keep grinding. I released 2 videos today. I got 1 tomorrow, and then a couple to release while I'm on vacation for the rest of the weekend. Hail Parrothead, hail Superfan Adam Shawhan, Keely Chow, Brutal Morningwood. Hail to you all. Thank you guys for being here. We've got some great topics, but you know what we do first on Wednesday nights. You know what we do first, ladies
Measure
and gentlemen.
sizes.
Well, you know, that usually happens somewhere along the line, but we'll wait until after holy shit news to do that.
Holy shit!
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know. Were you thinking, holy shit, a swordfish almost went through my head?
Holy shit!
Holy shit! And all the assholes want us to shit all over everything.
Holy shit!
don't know.
All
Two
right, so
and
here-
3/4.
7/16, 6 and 7/16. I don't know. The smoking gun, not to I don't know. The smokinggun.com. I was leaning. Buster, here we go. Now, tonight we have a trifecta of Florida stories, ladies and gentlemen, which is not a rarity here for this segment. But first one, let's get right to it. Naked Florida woman 42 busted for skinny dipping in a stranger's pool.
What did she look like?
Well, I mean, right here, it's not promising. Let's be honest.
Damn it.
Just by that side profile,
Nobody calls the cops on a hot woman skinny dipping.
right? Then it's like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation,
James
and you're like,
I don't know why this is happening, but I'm not going to do anything to interrupt it.
How are you going to be 69 and call the cops on someone for this? What's your problem?
James Clark.
yep.
Well,
James-
I was just watching her for a while until my wife came by, which is when I picked up the phone and panic dialed the police.
See,
Don't worry,
was-
honey.
he was 69, she was 42, and he called the police. So she looks like meth Britney Spears.
But,
That's the
at
thing.
69 years old, that's not, he's probably buying the meth for Britney Spears, so,
Yeah, more
Come
than
on,
likely.
bro.
She didn't want to explain why she was there. That's also
No.
code for I don't know why I'm here.
That's
I don't know what's going on. I'm really effed up on different kinds of drugs or alcohol.
That's she was convicted earlier this year on felony narcotics possession charge and misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia.
Thank you very much.
A traffic stop yielded morphine pills, marijuana, crack, and meth pipes. Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. What are you calling the cops for, bro? You could have, might have lost a TV or two, but, you could have hit that, dude.
Dude.
It's like I was thinking, honestly, I just felt bad for her. Yeah. I hope she gets the help she needs.
He did. He thought it was Britney Spears. He's like, Britney, get out of the pool. You're going to drown. You're not competent. No. And then he's like, it's not Britney. Damn it.
Can I just point out, too, on that traffic stop with all the narcotics and stuff, she
Yeah.
could, in fact, breathe.
Oof. Oh. right in the button. Oh. Oh. But
They're going to go burn down a Panera Bread over her arrest.
Either that or Big B Coffee. You know, the one that used to be called Beaners. But they're like, we can't call it Beaners because, well, folks, ladies and gentlemen, we all know. So don't call the coffee Beaners, even though coffee's made from beans, and that's what the reference was to. But, and they changed that years ago. God damn it, wrong one. What did I fucking do here? Let's see. Hang on. All right, so we're getting to the second story. Here we go. Okay, here it is right here. This is this is another good one, as they all are. This is Florida story number 2 for the evening. Now, Jesus, pop-ups. Hi, how are you? Go away. Hi. Florida man, 32, nabbed after cops spot him stomping and swinging a stolen alligator at 3:20 a.m. Holy shit. Okay.
Swinging
Jesus.
and stomping. And, oh, look at that.
See, I feel like he used to be part of the Phantom Menace.
This guy was definitely part of some movement. I think it was the Justice for Mongoloids movement, though. I mean, by the look of him. So let's see. He's a 32-year-old fisherman. Was arrested they spot him trying to fling the purloined alligator atop a building. When his attempt to launch the alligator failed, he slammed it to the ground and stomped on it. He was teaching it a lesson, is what he told the police. My question is, I think there was a breakdown, a fundamental breakdown in communication there. I don't know. This is, I mean, he could say he was just trying to make shoes and belts. I mean, that would be my story. I don't know.
I watched that episode of Loki. I figured that was a Loki, so I wasn't taking no crap from Crocodile Loki.
I feel like him and the other girl would make a really good couple.
Like together, they could make it. Separate.
Yeah,
Is this-
Or
I
either
feel
like
they're variants of each other. Speaking of Loki,
exactly, yeah. This is a male and a female variant of the same meth head that just needs to get together, and together they can get to that castle at the end of time, which is actually just a crack den. But
yes,
when you're all
if
hopped
they were
up.
together, they would be skinny dipping with crocodiles, and I think that's beautiful.
Why do I have a feeling the "I've Had the Time of My Life" would be playing in the background, but it'd be sung by it'd be sung by David Allen Coe.
Why not David Allen Greer?
Oh my gosh.
David Allen Greer with backups by Tommy Davidson.
Afternoon delight.
Dun, dun. The court affidavit does not specify the size and weight of the alligator Hodge is alleged to have swiped. The alligator was subsequently turned over to the Congo River's general manager, who valued the stolen goods at $300. Hodge was charged with animal cruelty, possession and injury of an alligator, unarmed burglary, theft, criminal mischief. He is being held in the Volusia County Jail in lieu of $4,500 bond.
I wouldn't fuck with the guy who was in jail for fighting an alligator.
It just doesn't seem like it's a winning proposition at any stage of the game.
I'd feel like it was not a full-grown alligator if he's able to throw it up into the air. I don't think this was a fair fight. I think he's picking on a juvenile alligator and probably teaching a lesson, because who knows what happened? Like this original altercation that started this thing all. It's like, well, you don't know what that alligator said to me. Fair enough, but that doesn't give you the right to start flinging it in the air.
So his real crime was being an ageist.
And again, to be fair, I'm not from Florida, so maybe around there that's like you can teach it a lesson. You just violated the ways in which you're allowed to do it. You can wrestle an alligator, but you were throwing it in the air, and that's where you made the mistake. There's ways of dealing with because there's gators everywhere. So
keep it in the ring, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Let me acknowledge the chat. Tim's Talk is here. Hail Tim's Talk. We need to reschedule your appearance. We got last week the tribute stream to Groovinator through the schedule off, man. But yeah, so we'll reschedule getting you on. Hail Lola Meets, the best avatars on YouTube. Check out her show. It's was it Late Night with Lola or Lola Talks? Is that what it's called, Tony? It's Lola Talks, I believe, right? Lola, if you're not wrenched, or Tony, throw her link in the chat if you could. Hail to you, Miss. So we've got our third story here for this, and this is the final Florida story of the evening for Holy Shit News. Here we go. Guilty plea in pervy public pickle packing. Florida man cops to an indecent encounter. So a Florida man found himself in a legal pickle after cops spotted a pickle in him that has copped to indecent exposure, according to court records.
How many pervy public pickle packers does it take to plea a pervy public pickle packing?
Oh my God! There's so many. Is this?
How many pickles could you pack in a pervy public? Oh my gosh!
This guy could pack all of them, I think.
Look at that though, the eyebrows. I was just stunned by the wonderful headline and trying to turn it into a Peter Piper picked a pair of pervy pickles.
This guy
what the hell?
is wow.
My first thought is the movie 300.
Yeah, he's one of the Persians. It's Xerxes.
It's not the lash they fear, but my sparkling eyebrows.
It's fucking Xerxes. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I just think of it from fucking South Park. That feels so good.
Scissor me timbers.
Oh, you mean this?
Scissor me timber.
Yeah, we've got that one.
How could you
What the fuck? I was like messing around with the links, and then I jump back on and see this fucking asshole.
He was packing pickles publicly in his pooper.
Uneaten pickle in the other hand, naked from the waist down.
That's
and had his penis in one hand and a large uneaten pickle in that. Now, how do you hold your large eaten pickle? Why would you have to specify that the pickle was uneaten? Are they saying like not even a single bite had been taken out of this pickle? Is that what they're saying? Show me the eaten pickle that you can hold. It's called a relish, maybe.
We had a guy in the locker room that had a pickle in his fucking gear bag, and he was walking around and he shoved it in his tights, and then one of the female valets literally reached down, grabbed it, took a bite of it, and handed it back to him. I was like, at that point, I'm like, I'm married, but that I don't know. I'm like I don't know how I feel about that. I'm like,
boom.
Well played indeed. And
Power
she did
play.
it without even batting an eye. Will just stood there and he was like, "Holy shit, dude!"
Well, that's the move. I mean, it just reminds me exactly of Super Troopers, where they're telling the rookie to bite the soap because Farva put a bar of soap and it's going to be bite the soap, just bite the soap. And then the sergeant comes over, he's like, "Oh, give me the goddamn soap," and he bites it off. It's like that's how you do it. Yeah, that kind of puts it into it.
Dude, look at and this guy, Pinellas County. That's most of the crime. I'm telling you, man.
He's got
God.
He was back behind bars a week later after getting arrested on a felony theft charge for stealing Red Bull and skinny jeans from a Walmart. The essentials.
Yeah. He's 48.
He's got Sam Elliott mustaches on his face.
Oh my God!
Like you could, I want to Photoshop Sam Elliott onto him. Like
he looks like a stripper fucked his eyebrows.
Like
multiple convictions for both theft and trespassing, as well as convictions for disorderly conduct, resisting police, and criminal mischief, which is like. They literally were like, make sure that we put down that he's been up to some mischief. That's the word that look at his that's a mischief maker.
That face though is definitely the face of somebody who gets arrested while doing this, you know.
And also clearly look at the remorse. Clearly upset about his crime, ashamed of what he's been doing. No, he's like, yep, it's me again. I got a pickle in one hand and a penis in the other. Woo!
Gives a whole new meaning to sweet baby holes.
What are you doing?
Every time he walks into the park, this is basically how it goes.
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch!
They see him coming. They see him coming with a pickle in his hand and a big smile on his face, and they're like, "Oh God!" I mean, it's not like that old couple that was going down on each other in the tube on the playground in Florida, but I mean, I'm just saying it's up there with that. You know what I mean? These oof.
What's the over under this mugshot was taken after, he finished masturbating?
I wonder if they stopped him.
Up his butt.
Yeah.
Come on, guy.
I mean,
did he eat the pickle after that? Why did they specify uneaten pickle in the beginning? If it's like Chekhov's gun.
He's 48, it's like he walked into that store with a purpose. He knew what he wanted up his ass, and it wasn't a cucumber, it wasn't a carrot. He went for the pickle aisle, and I hope it was kosher. We can only hope he's playing it safe. But, they say it's never too late to turn your life around, and I think that was a fucking lie. Just looking at this guy, so...
Well, the thing about that is the change doesn't just happen. You have to want to change. And this seems like a person that knows exactly what they want to do. Yeah, I want to go buy a pickle, lie down in front of a townhouse, stick it up my butt, and whatever happens after that, that's in God's hands.
Exactly. If at 48 you can't even afford a fucking pickle, you're stealing pickles to insert in yourself. I doubt at 58 you're going to be a day trader. That's all I'm saying.
Lola says maybe he was hoping it would vibrate.
Sir, you done bought the wrong kind of pickle.
He didn't get the power. He didn't get the power pack pickle.
Yeah, kind of looks like flipped out, went down the wrong road.
Oh no!
What I want to know is that the pickle, like that picture, or they just find a picture of a pickle? They're like, well, this is what a pickle looks like. For anyone that doesn't know, we'll put that there.
That may be why the one end is darker than the other. From the brown.
The officer on duty said he was thinking about quitting.
Johnson, get an evidence bag.
He went through
Back-
all the
back.
George Floyd drama and all that bullshit, and this is what's going to make him quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to draw
was-
the line somewhere.
I was in the riots.
And this
I was
guy's
at the,
eyebrows was it.
I was at the Summer of Love. I was getting bottles full of fucking acid thrown at me. I was getting shit thrown at me. And this is how it ends. This is the swan song. A fucking shit-covered pickle that some fucking glittery eyebrowed fruit booty shoved up his ass while he was fucking capping one off in a park. Fuck me running. Like, really, dude. Like, this cop is just at that point, fuck it, I've seen it all. I'm done. There's literally nothing else for me to see at this point. Like, Xerxes with glittery eyebrows shoving a pickle up his ass and fucking stroking one off in front of the fucking park fucking patrons. Why, Lord? Why?
I hope when they caught him, he had that exact same look on his face. I hope he made eye contact with the officers and...
Come on over. Interrupt me. That'll be fun.
Oh, he made him watch while they removed that pickle. He made him fucking... He was like, I guarantee you, he was making noises and shit just to fuck with him. Like, oh yeah, dude, this guy was definitely making uncomfortable eye contact with the cops.
They had to pull it out, and it sounded like stirring macaroni and cheese, and he just won't break. He's just staring at him. Probably
dude,
in the cop's face.
I literally just ate macaroni and cheese, you asshole.
Nah.
Oh, fuck me. Well, I'm just going to go throw the entire container of leftovers away now. I'm done. I will never be able to cook that again. That and beets now I'm done with. Thanks, Tony. You've saved me from hollow carbs yet again. Yet again, you've saved me, Tony.
Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well.
Well, of course she likes it. There's diversity in the story.
Jeez.
See,
Oh, it came off as a little unhinged.
sounds like he needs a social worker, not a cop.
He's a,
Wait, jackaroni cheese? What the bleep? Look, man. Oh.
This is actually in the social worker training.
Look, if you happen across Xerxes in a park with a pickle in his ass, here's how you diffuse the situation properly. Step 1, put on your hazmat suit. Step
kick
2,
him in the ass as hard as you can.
This is their procedures.
Depending on where doctors find the pickle, you win an award.
hit the pickle with a mallet.
Shaboom!
This is their procedures to deal with the criminal. Like if the suspect becomes hostile, get spread eagle on the hood of your vehicle, pull out the pickle, and try to impress him.
Oh God!
Entice the criminal.
Fred Savage. Lindsay, we know where Grace gets her water from. I would say Flint. Oh. Is that rough? Should I not have said that? It's super fan. I'm sorry. I said.
I mean, it is because they have terrible water.
Oh, it's fucking true.
Yeah, it's true.
Gives an entire new meaning to pickle power. Oh God,
pickle power. Unfortunately, that was Pickle Rick, and he is also pressing charges.
He's got assault charges. Pickle Rick now pressing assault charges against fucking Xerxes.
Assault and buttery.
Assault and buttery. Assault and analry. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? I don't know. It should be.
Let's chalk it up to criminal mischief.
that count always makes me laugh. Here we are, bounding into comics. Former The Star Wars Show host Peter Townley decries Star Wars being used in the culture war, only blames one group of people. This from today, Mr. John F. Trent, our friends over at Bounding into Comics. The former Star Wars Show host Peter Townley, who hosted the show from 2016 to 2018, recently decried Star Wars being used in the culture war. If you guys haven't read this yet, which direction do you think he's going to go? Who do you think he's going to blame?
Well, he said he only blames one group of people, so I'm just going to take a shot in the dark, and it's going to be against like white men or something like that.
Oh God, Pickle
I
Rick has
just
been.
want to.
Or he's gonna
But-
say it's just a back to the alt right. I haven't read it, but that typical like. There's one group
Yeah.
of people that misuse this, and it's the people, and it's like that we've claimed are the only people that object to these movies, and it's just like, nah, there's tons of people that have no political reasons for disliking those movies, and because they're just terrible films. Yeah, it's like, look, I could get angry about the politics, but I'm not even there yet. There's very basic Star Wars level shit that you didn't get right. Okay,
There are movies that I don't agree with the politics, but I can ignore it because it's a good movie.
Yeah.
This ain't that.
No, God, no.
That's honestly, and that's kind of where I was at with, and this is gonna sound bad, but Knives Out, to where it's like, I know the motivations behind it, but number one, the movie, as I've said before, was in Roundheads, it was in his wheelhouse, and number two, I took it for what it was, and what it was actually good, because it was made by somebody who should make those auteur type movies. And that's what Rian Johnson's, that art house type kind of guy, and he doesn't need to do blockbuster big budget movies because that's not his shtick,
And I was gonna say, like, there could have been a Star Wars movie for him to even do in his style, but not in the middle of the episodic stuff, because again, he's out there, and that is very much a style that you need to like fit into. That's why the prequels, even for what people can complain about, still feel like part of that same story being told. There's stylistic stuff that comes into play that he was just, even in as far as style goes, as far as like story goes, he was totally doing his own thing, which even hung their very own trilogy out to dry. But we all know this. We don't need to rehash that.
And people like him too, and this is not just him, by the way. This is not even becoming, it's been a modern trend of trying to blur the lines between good and evil, and there's a lot of gray area, and like people like that look at, I consider Yoda in the prequels to be a good person who made mistakes,
Right.
It feels like people like Rian Johnson have a hard time distinguishing the difference between what's evil and what's a good person making a mistake, and I don't know, it's just kind of played at that whole ideology is played out. I don't believe in gray Jedis. I don't believe that, you can stand for something benevolent and then turn around and murder a bunch of younglings, but you still stand for something benevolent, so you're gray. You're either morally honest, intellectually honest, or you're not, and I don't know. That's what, I just thought of that because Rian Johnson's interview was an art student talking about wanting to stir up audiences and wanting to, wouldn't.
That's a terrible attitude. It's great. You could talk about art that way. That's one thing. But, and I'm not going to say Star Wars isn't art, but it's a type of art that's called a blockbuster film, which is you're trying to please as much of the audience as possible. Okay. It's not like elevated, like, everyone's going to come at this differently and have their own. It's like, no, you want to do like something that people generally agree that was awesome.
If you're gonna subvert in a franchise like this, I'm rocking the Stealing Solo beanie again. If you're gonna subvert in a franchise like this, it has to be done in a certain way. And Ryan took it, like, did a 180. You know what I mean? It was like everybody said, the deconstruction, and that doesn't work with these kind of films.
Postmodern, and it didn't. It screwed over his own trilogy. Like he even talks about it. Oh no, all that matters is my movie. Like he didn't even care about the one before or the one that comes after. He didn't consult that to write his scripts. He didn't care about what happened afterwards.
Which is unprofessional.
It's ridiculous, and that's why, like, again, could there have been a Star Wars movie that he could have done? Like that's what I thought. The whole point of the like offshoot movies were supposed to be that would take us away from the episodic content, that saga, and we'd go out there and tell different kinds of stories and have different types of Star Wars films. But they totally blew that by just doing like Rogue One and Solo, and then of course that's because people were making terrible decisions at that time and everything got shut down.
And they can't just film a movie; they have to film the movie 3 times and stitch it together.
Oh God, because executives have to get in and say, well, that's not making the point that I want to make enough. And it's like, the only point you should be making is a good Star Wars film. And if you can do that, you'll get the money, which is the other only thing you're supposed to care about.
Yep.
I don't know how you can miss both and still be considered successful.
That's the problem with movies by committee. Give me one moment here. Let me acknowledge the chat. Hail Angelus Draven. What's up, brother? Welcome. Welcome, Fenrir Fire. Hail to you. Thank you for joining us. That's the problem with this. The things that they tried to do with Star Wars, like, okay, so if I'm gonna try to do this, okay, so the sequel trilogy, if I'm going back, so what I'm gonna do is JJ is not hire JJ Abrams, because I'm gonna look at this trilogy in a very linear fashion, and I'm gonna pay attention and great care to the legacy characters, because as a filmmaker, you want to make a movie that the way you envision it, but you also keep in mind the pre-existing audience. In theory, this is what you do, and this is just coming from my the way I think it should be. I have no training or fucking in this, but I'm looking at it like, okay, so and obviously there's producers and all that shit, and yeah, like, I mean, look at Spider-Man 3 with Avi Arad and Venom. That's what happens in these movies. But I mean, ideally, you make the trilogy, you have the same director, the same writers, as much as possible, or at least ones that understand the vision and the concepts. And then if you do these offshoots, okay, so you're like, hey, you know what? You want to do an offshoot movie where throw me the pitch of where your concept is going to take it. You're not near the main timeline. Keep that in mind. Go. That's what you want to do. You know what? Do it. All right. No main characters. Maybe one, a minor ancillary character with enough thread to keep it, loosely tied together, but not so much that those events are going to affect the main timeline at all. Those are your constraints. Go. And that's what you do. I've given you the rope. Now what you do with it is your fucking choice.
Hang yourself with it. No, but that's like right. you have a lot more space to operate in that situation, as opposed to, okay, you're going to make a movie called Rogue One. It's like, boy, I hope you know a bunch of Star Wars history, because people have been talking about that era for the past 40 years. Okay, we're going to make a movie about Han Solo, and you're not going to have Harrison Ford in it? What bold choices you're making.
And
you clearly get why people, it's like, ugh.
You can tell these people weren't fan, because I don't know anyone who's ever sat back and asked questions like, I wonder how Han Solo got his name, like little
that was
or
terrible.
having Han Solo speak like a Wookiee. I mean, that was so stupid.
That was very dumb.
That's something.
Yeah.
That's something you would do in like some fan fiction, or make like in a movie where they're referencing Star Wars and something. You wouldn't speak like a Wookiee in a Star Wars movie. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him speaking Wookiee, and then them showing him and Chewie showering together. Like, I know it was done for like a cheap pop, but it was just like, I just cringed. I was like, what the like, what, like, really, like, why is there
Things,
any?
Yeah.
It didn't make any fucking sense. It made
that was another movie that was like restitched together. There was tons of stuff that was like, hey, how come there's no like background to this scene? It's just like haziness, or like, hey, how come they went from this area to that area, and it wasn't as bad as some things I've seen. I'll say that like they did a decent together stitch, but that's another one where I would want to see the original cut, because that was
Rogue One.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want
to even got to see trailers.
Yeah.
For Rogue One, if you saw the trailers, and then you saw the movie, you were like, well, what? There were tons of scenes in those trailers. It was like,
she seemed so much more interesting in those trailers. She was
Jyn Erso,
yeah,
absolutely.
Witty. She was snappy, had comebacks, and like it was very war heavy. And then the executives came in. Well, that's what we wanted to see.
That's exactly,
You didn't need Jedi or anything in that, because it was a Star Wars movie. It was a war movie, which is like, I always wanted more of Hoth, the Battle of Hoth. The actual, if you made a whole movie about that battle, I would have been happy as hell. But let's look through this article here. Townley explained, the thing that bothers me is that it's one thing to like or dislike Star Wars, just like as a fan, which is what we were doing right now. We're fans and we're discussing it and hypothesizing and theorizing and breaking it down. Everyone has their likes or dislikes or wants to play armchair quarterback, and it could have been this way or the other. He continued, the really bad faith stuff that I don't like is when Star Wars is being framed as part of some ongoing culture war, which is essentially just real-world political ideas trying to grab onto Star Wars, something that people know a lot about, and pull them towards their ideology using it.
Tell me
then
about
point.
it.
How can you act like that's not happening? Okay, sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. We can talk about what
I was just gonna say, how
you
can you
said.
act like that's not happening? I want to keep reading because I want to see. Let's get.
Okay. Townley then points to a specific tactic he takes issue with. You know, a very old political tactic is to say things were better before. Things were better before, and modernity is corrupt and has dragged things down. And we need to go back to the glorious past that things can be better. And lots of very, very ugly political movements have used this rhetoric. Star Wars is a very easy target for this because there are people who our age and somewhat younger who have all this nostalgia for the original trilogy and might be very swayed by someone making the argument that, you know, Star Wars was better in the 70s and 80s, and the people who are making it now just don't get it, man, he asserted.
It's because they just don't get it.
They don't.
Let me compare to you what happened with The Last Jedi. That came out, and then sales went down for every movie afterwards. Mandalorian came out. People responded positively to that. And it was after The Last Jedi that they halted all their possible products. The Mandalorian was originally supposed to be the Boba Fett movie. Remember back in the day? Remember when that was announced? Oh, the Boba Fett movie, the Obi-Wan movie. They put the shoot out on that. Why? Because of The Last Jedi. That's just a few loudmouth individuals. No, it's a whole bunch of people that saw that movie and saw it was trash that you can even see, since how much trouble did you have making the last movie? And what does that tell you about the person in charge? The one directing, overseeing all this, who ostensibly planned this, if you can call any of it a plan. Okay, that person's an idiot. And what does The Mandalorian do when it comes in? People respond positively to it. They do season 2. They bring Boba Fett back and treat him with respect. People love it. They bring Luke Skywalker back. People lose their minds because it's not this beaten down, broken down version that's beaten and broken down to try and make this new character look better. It's just him being awesome.
They gave us what they should have given us in the sequel.
And everyone else can still be awesome. It's possible for him to be great and for other people to also be great. But the whole sequel trilogy was like, let's drag these other characters down and make them look like trash so we can make our own characters look better. And that didn't work.
No.
Not to get political, but it does remind me of a certain ideology where it's like, okay, well, just cut everyone down so they're all miserable, you know?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Also, I mean, what he's saying in this art, or what he said there, he's clearly comparing this arguments about Star Wars directly to Trump and Make America Great Again and that kind of thing.
Yep.
Which it's like, okay, you're trying to make that connection, and that means that you think anyone that says something like the new stuff isn't that great is just someone that's a right wing or a Trump supporter or blah blah blah. Guess what? I'm not really an anyone supporter, by the way, but I'm definitely not like a Trump guy. And I can tell you that new Star Wars and all that stuff, I've been against it pretty much since The Last Jedi. Again, I like The Mandalorian and some of that stuff, but it's absolutely atrocious that he tries to say what he's basically saying is anyone that's complaining about the new stuff is just this type of person. It's like, that's not true. We're not just people that are like, it used to be better in the past, but we might be saying that, but that's because it's like, well, you know, they actually were caring about the story. And if that were true, then how come I can like The Mandalorian? I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
I'd be incapable of distinguishing between it because it's new. And by your definition, anything new is terrible. Like, that's not how I feel. You've made new things that are terrible, but some of them even had some good stuff in them. Rogue One, for example, the space combat, beautiful. The ships fighting and stuff, I was on board with that. But there's been so many other big mistakes that I can't just let you get by on part of one movie being good.
What he's pointing out, too, is how a lot of people felt leaving The Force Awakens. It was, okay, that wasn't as good as the other ones, but we weren't angry with the product, most of us.
Yeah.
And
that was after
the
a long
Last
drought.
Jedi that was figuratively saying,
Yeah.
fuck you, this is Star Wars now, and if you don't like it, move on, man, baby. And it was very insulting, The Last Jedi, and it was very insulting just in general, even if you're not that into Star Wars, to make people wait 2 years to finally see Luke Skywalker, and he's disrespecting his father's lightsaber and is just acting completely
calling Obi-Wan trash.
I mean, it was
abandon his
insulting.
pupil, try to attack. Like, there's so many things wrong with that character, just totally off base.
Yeah, so it's like The Force Awakens definitely wasn't as good as the other movies, but it's like, okay, this is their first Star Wars movie. They're just getting out of the gate. Probably made a better movie than I would. Let's see what comes next. And they built up a lot of hype to pull the rug out from under you and give you the finger. So we're going to be mad. And then, it has nothing to do with politics.
And after that, once people responded and were like, I don't like this, their response was, the only people that don't like this film are trying to sabotage it. They're bad people if they don't like this film. They're woman-hating, racist Russian trolls. These are the people that don't like this film. They basically made it a moral obligation to support their films, or else you're a bad person. And these are the same people, again, who are like, we're against bullying. At the same time, if you didn't like our new movie, that makes you subhuman, and that means it's okay to attack you because we're punching down. And it's like, do you realize how you just manipulated the bullshit? And it's like, you can't, that doesn't work with movies, by the way. You don't get to say, if you don't like this, it's because you're a bad person. That, like, Roots didn't get to say stuff like that. Star Wars certainly doesn't get to pull that card, if it's even a card ever to be pulled. And that pissed me off even more. Like, I could handle a bad Star Wars movie, and I can handle people getting it wrong, because that's the other thing about George Lucas too. Star Wars fans told, hey, this was crap, we didn't like it. And you know what he did? He tried to do better. And then he actually really got close. They're almost perfect, some would say, with like Revenge of the Sith. Because he was hearing those complaints, and trying to work with him. People hated Jar Jar. He greatly reduced Jar Jar's role. He didn't completely axe him. But he was just like, okay, we're going to try and do that. People had complaints about other stuff. He was like, okay, I'm going to try and like do better for that. But he never said, if you don't like it, you're a bad person. Like, because that's insane. Who would say that? Oh, Disney Star Wars, that's what they did when this happened to that. And then they put out mass media floods of misinformation. Leading up to The Rise of Skywalker coming out, they were flooding just blatant lies. Like, I saw all these articles. Kevin Smith has his mind melted by the final scene. If you read the article, that's the title, by the way. Kevin Smith has his mind melted. Read the article, and it's a quote from Kevin Smith, and he goes, well, I actually never got to even see the set. They wouldn't let me on set, but someone that worked on the movie told me if I saw it, I would have my mind melted. And I'm like, so someone that works on the movie told you it would melt your mind. You did not. How can you make the title of your article, Kevin Smith has his mind melted? That is just a base lie. And they did that, and that's just one example of the tons and tons of stuff they were putting out before this movie, because they were like, Last Jedi didn't derail anything, and it's like, didn't help anything. Anyway.
Yeah, because they only have one value, and it's money.
Right. You would think so, but if that was true, why? Because
why did they double down?
They think this pandering is going to help. Like, you should pander to? The people paying for Star Wars stuff. Me, pander to me. I'll give you money if you like. What? I don't get how that's a crazy or wrong thing.
I mean more on the like that Kevin Smith headline, but no, as far as all they're trying to do is normalize this so they can even move this scale further and further with the next generation. They're willing to take that hit, which confuses me, because you're trying to pander to China too, and China hates the wokeness even more than we do.
Oh yeah.
So it's like they're trying to play both sides of the table here, and I hope they stumble. Definitely.
They deserve to, because it's absolutely, like I said, look at this. This is Jonathan Kasdan right here. Lawrence Kasdan's son. Sorry to have brought identity and gender politics into. Nope, not sorry at all, because I think the galaxy George gave birth to in 1977 is big enough for everyone. Straight, gay, black, brown, white, Twi'lek, Sullustan, Wookiee, droid, and anything in between.
It
Like,
is, so quit singling people out.
No
Right.
one was ever saying it wasn't. You're not a
Yep.
hero. You didn't
Yeah.
introduce those things to Star Wars.
right?
Yep.
Who's to say there weren't gay things happening in the back, or what? I'm sure there were. There's interspecies stuff happening, man. There's all kinds of sex stuff going on. I'm sure, but that's not really the focus of what Star Wars is about. Is that the focus of your Star Wars story? That's probably why it's goddamn sex fan fiction. Okay, so actually, let's take a big look at some big picture themes about like Star Wars and like relationships and like maybe some big stuff like that. That's actually cool. Instead of just like, hey, it's big enough for there have been black, white, brown, those are, and then he starts listing aliens that were invented in Star Wars, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? You didn't introduce this, and you just made it a focal point in a movie that it didn't deserve to be the focal point.
Yep.
And it wasn't even that big of a point in the movie. You just made a big stink about it in the media outside the movie, and in the movie, you barely even noticed it at all, which is how they do tons of these things these days, like Loki being bisexual. Hey, it's thrown away in one line of dialogue that he's bisexual, and he ends up at the end in a heterosexual relationship. I mean, with himself, so that's not even heterosexual. That's masturbation or incest. But
That last episode was really good, in my opinion.
of Loki?
Yeah. Like,
I still haven't watched.
I'm not huge. Like, I was never huge into the
spoil it.
comics as far as like Loki and, or even King. But yeah, that last episode was well done, I think. I'll give Marvel that,
Oh yeah, like Marvel, if they do something well, I'll still give them props for it, man. It's not like to where I'm like Star Wars, where I just anything new I'm just ignoring. Like I don't.
So mad at Star Wars.
Exactly.
So
I'm not paying attention to it. Let's talk a little Black Widow though here, and I will say this, man. I Florence Pugh, beautiful woman. I thought she was good in Black Widow. I mean, I kind of liked her. She can pull off the action thing. I like her. I like her delivery. She does. She's talented. It's just the movie overall was such a mess. But this is his rumor. Black Widow is Florence Pugh to play a significant role in upcoming Hawkeye series on Disney Plus. Well, I mean, if you've seen the movie, you understand why that is. At the end of it, the Madam Hydra sent, hey, you want to see the guy who's responsible for your sister's death? Like, how wouldn't she know that she sacrificed herself at this point?
That's a great question, because I was already thinking she has too much information, because they use it for a joke that they actually carry over later. But the poser joke, which he talks about Black Widow posing, and I'm just like, I'm sitting there going like, how do you know what she looks like when she infiltrates a...
Yeah.
I mean, I get that as an audience, we see it.
Yeah.
But it's not like that's all over the news, her constantly like the only time she was really on the news was like in the Avengers battle and when she went to the court. So I'm just like, that's the kind of joke that to me, I'm just like, how did you get that?
Yeah.
Like, I get why the audience would think it's funny, but it's a joke for the audience and you're not aware of the audience, supposedly.
Yep.
It was
But
a joke that worked in Deadpool.
And boom, it worked in Deadpool. And that's the other thing. Again, The Last Jedi, that's one of the things that makes me more infuriated than anything else, is when Luke is first talking to Rey and he tells her, Joe's like, Jedi training isn't all just lifting rocks. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. What that you would be like, what? Because the only person that knows about the lifting rocks thing is Luke and Yoda's dead. So who are you telling that joke for, Luke? Oh, the audience who also saw that. Screw you, Rian Johnson. And then even bigger than that, that's actually how she realizes to lift the rocks at the end. A joke that was told to the audience reminds her that she can, literally do anything. I can lift rocks with the Force because I can do anything with the Force without even trying. Oh, God, that's such... So that kind of joke, again, and it fits better in comic book movies than in a Star Wars movie. But even there, I was just like, how do you know what she looks like when she's...
Yeah.
Not a big deal, but...
Spider-Man Far From Home, I watched that earlier for like the second time all the way through, and Mysterio says at one point, he's like, now this is an Avengers level threat. Like, how are you hip to a private conversation between Tony Stark and Spider-Man? Like,
and you're from a different galaxy too, supposedly,
Well, and that was a lie.
But I mean, it's just
Still,
it's very meta and just like really like your eye rolling at that point. You know what I mean? It's just like ugh. So yeah, we'll take a look at this here. This is from John F. Trent. Okay, so we don't need to fucking
Who?
look at
No,
that.
I'm kidding.
Who? Yeah, who is it from? Pugh's involvement in the show was announced by Variety back in December 2020, along with Vera Farmiga, Fra Fee, Tony Dalton, Alakwa Cox, and Zach McClarnon. I probably butchered at least 2 of those names.
I'll lick
So,
your cocks.
Right.
How many you got?
Guy. So it's not a surprise that she would show up on the show. However, to what extent and how significant her role is was still unclear. I mean, yeah, Ma, do your thing.
I bet the big surprise is they're gonna reveal Florence Pugh as a girl in Hawkeye.
God.
However, a new rumor from Lizzie Hill at the Cosmic Circus claims Pugh's return as Yelena Belova in the show will be significant, explaining this isn't a cameo or a minor one-episode appearance. I have confirmed with my sources, Reddit, that I trust she is in multiple episodes. As for what Belova's role in the series will be, Hill writes, I will add that knowing Pugh will appear as Yelena in Hawkeye is very, very cool. Not just as a cameo, but with a significant enough part to where we continue to explore her character and what happened to her after Black Widow, and perhaps even deal with her and Clint mourning Natasha in some ways.
I'm wondering if Haley Steinfeld is going to turn on Jeremy Renner, because it looks like they're putting together like some sort of Dark Avengers with John Walker, Cap, and Abomination and Shang-Chi will take the Hulk role. Yelena's obviously taking Black Widow's role, so I'm wondering if she's going to turn the daughter against her father or something to take that Hawkeye role.
Do you think it's going to be Dark Avengers? Do you think they're going with the Thunderbolts?
Putting some kind of team together that resembles the Avengers.
Why not both? And the Young Avengers.
We know they're building the Young Avengers because that's why they're bringing all these post 2014, garbage tier like Kamala Khan and America Chavez, the overpowered Puerto Rican multidimensional alien that's more OP than Superman and is a Puerto Rican lesbian. Yeah, that
and
one.
Non-binary.
And trans non-binary CEO Bob Chapek.
Gosh,
Pugh looks
so
like
long.
Valkyrie in the comics.
Sounds exhausting to have a gender identity.
It is. What's up, Bone? Hey, oh shit. Look who it is, Tony. Tap and die. I can't wait for the movie Camel Spider to come out next. Let me tell you about Camel Spider, Tap. You son of a bitch. Breaking news. At the end of the first episode, Hawkeye will announce he's transitioning.
Yay.
That's where Haley Steinfeld comes on. Jeremy Renner becomes a young girl named Kate Bishop.
It's actually... No, I was going to say...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go. No, feel free, Vase.
I was just going to say they're probably just going to have her... Florence show up, or Yelena show up in like one episode for a fight, and they'll spend that episode fighting, and then at the end they'll be like, "It was me," and then the next episode they'll spend getting to know each other in mourning, and it's like, "Hey, that was 2 whole episodes that we just managed to fill up with that, just because we had her directed at him to attack without her apparently doing any research at all into the role." And apparently no one ever showed up at the Avengers, just never even knew about her other family. When they said it, does she have any family? She had us. They're like, they don't even know that apparently. Well, again, that's like a fake family, but
and then fucking Red Guardian talks about fighting Captain America, which is literally impossible based on the timelines.
It's a different Captain America is what they're gonna do. You'll be like, it was Isaiah Wire, it was one of those other Captain Americas that have apparently been out doing stuff.
Never
we
heard
just
about
no one's talked about, and it's not in the museum,
right?
But
there's all the other captains. But
there's tons of bull crap in that movie too. Like the guy who's on Twitter who played the Russian guy that arm wrestled, who got his hand broken.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm playing the first mutant in the MCU. And I was like, I didn't see that. I saw a guy get his hand broken. If you were a mutant, you would have turned into a bear and slapped him across the room. That's what a mutant does.
That's what I was kind of expecting to happen.
Mutant. Scarlet Witch was the first mutant.
Oh, yeah. But it's just stupid stuff like that they like blow up in the media or like put online. I'm just like, that wasn't in the film. Do you realize that? The film that I just watched, what you're talking about, wasn't in there.
Yep.
Happens so
None of it.
often. I read about all this different stuff, and then I'm like, wow, this movie sounds terrible. And then I see it, I'm like, none of the things that you were crowing about are in the film.
Tap any news on Love and Lagoons? I don't have any Thor 4 news. I haven't really been paying attention. Honestly, it just sounds so bad. I'll put something together for that.
Russell
for
Crowe
Monday
or
night.
Ethan Hawke or someone was seen on set. I can't remember which one.
I thought it was Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
that was the
play
last thing I heard
Zeus.
was Crowe. Yeah, yep, he's gonna play Zeus.
And
But yeah. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
I was going to say I heard a rumor spinning off from that because Henry Cavill met with Marvel recently that he could play Hercules or some shit. Get Kevin
cool.
Sorbo for Hercules. Come on.
Right?
He's too old now?
And two on the wrong side of politics, too.
They've got
Well, I'm
Harrison
sure that
Ford.
wouldn't help, but
They've still got Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones at 80. Kevin Sorbo's like what, 60? He could still play Hercules.
we'll see what happens to that Indiana Jones movie.
They're gonna CGI fucking somebody's head on. They're gonna CGI Chris Pratt's head on fucking Harrison Ford's body.
I was going to say you still have Scarlett Johansson playing Black Widow at 35. So it's never too old, you know?
Leo Raylo says Elliot Page to play Hercules.
Yes.
That's progressive as hell.
They're gonna have Caitlyn Jenner play Titania in the She-Hulk show.
Good God.
Should
That
have
fucking-
just play Winter Hulk.
I was gonna say that fucking Winter Hulk. That was terrifying. Yeah. So this just talks about Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character Valentina Allegra de Fontaine handing her the picture of Hawkeye, and says shot the man responsible for your sister's death. So like I said, you pretty much broke it down right. It'll probably be one episode of them kind of getting to they're in attack mode. It's like a cat and mouse game, and boss fight at the end, fight to a duel, and then we have this understanding all of a sudden, and it's like this is what really happened.
Either a common enemy shows up and they have to work together, and then after that they'll just start working together, or it'll end at the end of their fight, and it's like while they're fighting they'll be conversing. It's like, "'Cause you killed my sister," and he'd be like, "I didn't kill her," and then it's like, oh.
Yep. That's probably like as close to accurate as we could get
If
tonight,
I were to
honestly.
guess, if I were to throw it out there, that's my prediction.
I mean, it makes sense that's exactly what they'll do.
Fills up some time.
Yep. That's
God
it,
knows how much they could possibly fit into a Hawkeye show. Is that supposed to be 6 whole episodes? Like, God, didn't even give the guy a movie, but training his protege.
Right. Jeremy Renner, if it wouldn't have been for the failure of the Jeremy Renner app, things might be different right now.
Good God. I want to see that timeline.
You're where the Jeremy Renner app succeeded.
Yeah.
A fan actually got to win dinner by racking up enough of Jeremy Renner points on Jeremy Renner's app with things about Jeremy Renner. We can talk about how great Jeremy Renner is.
You just won bonus points for saying his names that many times in a row.
I did. See, I'm trying. She creator Billy Tucci calls out controversial DC Comics YA graphic novel I Am Not Starfire for F-bomb usage. This from JB Augustine today, bounding into comics.
Much
and it's
worse
funny.
things to complain about, but
And the author of this I Am Starfire looks exactly like the fucking character. It is eerie.
that's embarrassing.
Did Bryce Dallas Howard write it?
That's ridiculous.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Jesus, did she fall off the wagon? I thought that was fucking Dr. Evil with a wig on earlier. I was like, he's like, that's Bryce Dallas Howard. I mean, what the fuck?
I think it might be baby weight, but Jesus.
Man, look, dog. Look. I got no problem.
It's amazing. I am not Starfire. Of course you're not. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I
want to play this trailer so bad, but I can't. I'm not getting a copyright claim for this bullshit because they claim everything. Mariko Tamaki's Elseworlds graphic novel, I Am Not Starfire, keeps getting attention for all the wrong reasons. In the latest gaffe concerning it, the illustrator, is that Shy or She? Is it supposed to be?
No clue.
All right. Creator Billy Tucci points out the use of the F word on one page in a book that's supposed to be targeted at a younger audience. which is just hilariously bad. Fuck, why not? Fuck, not quite apropos for a young adult comics audience, is it? DC Comics, Tucci inquired in a tweet with a screen grab from the comic that he tagged it in.
Don't they have Batman going down on Catwoman or something in one of
No,
their comics?
they wouldn't let him. But they did show Bat Dong last year.
Nice.
See, that's yeah.
Give him the
Batman-
Batwing.
If
Batman-
I was 12
Batman would
reading
totally
that, I'd be
yodel
like,
in the
what the
Batwing.
fuck? You know,
Right?
I stop reading it. That's stupid.
Like, why do I want to see Batman's dick? Like, no, like, and Batman would totally go down on Catwoman. He's like, superheroes don't do that. I'm like, Batman would go. Batman yodels in the valley. Batman yodels. He does.
I don't want to know that. I want to know about what the fucking Joker's up to. Like,
He's fucking got Harley Quinn's face against the wall, porking her with her fucking mallet from behind. Like, whoa.
well, I'm done with all this shit.
Well, Poison Ivy. Never mind. Takes
Gives
the
everyone a rash. Yes. What did you think was going to happen when you literally fucked Poison Ivy? I don't know. Yes,
There was-
go to the doctor.
Doctor Strange said there's 3,986,055 outcomes, and there's only one of them where you don't get Poison Ivy, and that's one you don't fucking touch her. But you know, I mean, fuck me, right? You know,
The
what
name
do I
says it
know?
all.
Cool.
So,
Poison Ivy's by. What's up with those plants she's putting all over Gotham? Like, you know,
The plants are gay. The plants are gay.
That's what I want. Yeah, she's the one turning the frogs gay,
The frogs are gay too.
putting gay lily pads in their ponds.
They worship the owl Moloch out at Bohemian Grove.
I love that too. Whenever you criticize any of this, you're like, it is for children. This is a story for. Oops,
That's
let me put the
ridiculous,
big
yeah.
fuck word right here. Like,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, that really it destroys their entire argument when it's like it's for children. Yeah, and then wait, why are you putting this in there? Why is that in there? Why is gender identity and politics so important to kids? Then why? Oh, indoctrination. That's why. Okay, cool. Just now, could we put the other side in there too? You know, no. Okay, why not? Oh, because those are antiquated and bigoted ideas. According to who? You? The moral authority? Okay, all right. Just making sure we're all on a level playing field here. You know, as I sit here and just watch the ship sink off the fucking harbor while it burns in fucking flames. Yeah, this is the state of fucking DC Comics right now. Let's see, who's the editor on this, he questioned. Further knowing full well, one assumes there would have been consequences for this kind of editorial snafu in times past when you had to read Image or Vertigo selections to get verbiage, or anything R-rated. Below is the page in the scene Starfire dotes on her daughter Mandy with egg rolls while she later exclaims the expletive in narration, hoping her mom doesn't find the myriad of thrown out college applications.
She looks like she's been to college.
Right? Perhaps you wish for the egg rolls?
Oh, what a fucking worthless character.
But that's how like Starfire would talk though. Like she does. She talks.
Yeah, that's
like,
how
in,
Starfire
No, not
talks.
Starfire, the daughter.
the other. Oh yeah, the other one. Oh, absolutely.
Fucking worthless.
Scroll down farther. I don't care so much about that, but keep going down.
Right. Okay.
Jesus.
There. Read that stuff above.
Oh,
If you scroll just a little bit, read that.
Another problem critics have is they believe Mandy is the self-insert character based on Tamaki herself in appearance and other aspects. That, in the sophomoric way, the graphic novel recycles a more compelling storyline with Blackfire smells of unoriginality. Mandy isn't considered likable either. Those who've scoped out the graphic novel find her and her presumed edginess annoying and pretentious.
That's what I was thinking when they even had the F word there. I was like, look out for this edgelord. Like, what are you?
Oh, this is great.
If you're doing it for younger kids or whatever, then you can't do that. If you want to be edgy, don't claim that you're doing it just for a younger audience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not. And it's also just the good lord.
Hang on,
Dumpster fire. That's good.
Oh, dude, that is absolutely.
Starfire, Blackfire, Dumpster Fire.
That pretty much sums up this entire fucking show, or the fucking book. I mean, my God, like, what the fuck are you? Who came, like, and said, hey, you know what? I got a great idea, and I'll show you exactly who did in a minute here. And it's funny because you remember Alex Borstein playing the old, was it the Korean lady? Did she play a Korean lady on Mad TV?
He looked like a man.
Okay, so here we go. This is Mariko Tamaki right here. There she is. Tell me she's not that fucking character. Look at her. Look at her.
Well, just click the picture below that.
She looks happy.
That's basically what she thinks of herself as. Like
this right here. Yeah, that's what she thinks she is.
Blue hair.
Yep. That's like the MO on. Oh, here's a good picture of her.
That's what the
that
people
looks exactly
wanna be
like that
entertained
character, by the way.
Me.
Yeah. Look. Okay, so here's the character.
Yeah, look.
And here's the author.
Why are people saying it's a self-insert? Well,
look.
Have you looked at yourself?
The orthopedic shoe fits. All right, the orthopedic shoe fits, lady.
The diabetic cushion sock fits.
Your hush forearms puppies are exactly as wonderful as the character that you've drawn here.
Jesus, like,
is that about body positivity too? Like what? Like, let's make a character look.
Yeah, hey, can we make her look as lumpy as fucking possible?
Yeah.
Just a fucking look at this. I mean, that is like an elementary level like turd fucking drawing. Like, I hate bashing on other people's creations.
It's a juxtaposition between her and her mother. Don't you understand? It's like, yeah, but the child would not exist. You chose to make this up. Like, you did this.
Right.
You did this.
Yep.
This wasn't like God. It wasn't like this is the child that she had. Like, you're like, I want to create a character that's Starfire's daughter so I can make some very specific points.
That's it.
I don't know how much sense this makes, but I look at the picture of her and all I can smell is patchouli and smegma.
God, that's
now one of those I can explain away, but the other one.
What a mess. Who did they think this was gonna like, do you think you're gonna get, because you're not gonna be pleasing traditional comic buyers with this. Like, this isn't
right, and it like screw these racists.
And so they're like, so we'll do it for young adults. So hopefully we're trying to grab new readers, we'll call them children. And then we'll throw the effort in there. So it's like, pick a direction. Pick a direction. Are you trying to snag young, vulnerable minds, or are you trying to make a point, like, and be taken? I don't.
It's just throwing the line out, and whatever bites is what she's gonna claim.
For real.
That's basically it. I mean, because
but this isn't This
it doesn't really have an. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, this isn't a person that wanted to write like a Starfire or like a. The purpose behind this was not like superhero or like It's message.
It was about just being able to be in that proximity, use that character to glean some amount of recognition, and then look at how edgy but I'm sassy and I'm dumpy, blah blah blah, and I don't need to be beautiful or fucking powerful. I can just be an edgy fucking goth, emo whiny bitch. That's basically what it is, because that's exactly what this author fucking looks like. Look at her.
No one gives a fuck about your sob story, bitch.
Basically,
I almost wonder what else she's like done, but I don't care. That's funny. That's good.
I'm surprised she didn't name it Weir, not Starfire.
That is just.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is, right here. I love this.
Obviously, I am not and like Is that a part in the book where people are expecting her to be like Starfire? Is that one of her like challenges? Like, being the daughter of Starfire, everyone expects me to be like Starfire. And I was like, I would take one look of you and not expect you to be like Starfire.
Like,
I can see by looking at you. Now, if I had not seen you, if I was just, oh, the daughter of Starfire, she likes Starfire. Well, there she is. Oh, no, I wouldn't have. So you're no.
Yep.
I think I like Geode more than this character. Like, this has to be one of the most unlikable characters.
I would prefer a brick
yeah.
to you. That's what you do. It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
A brick could hold it together. You could build things with a brick. All right. This is.
This insufferable fucking heifer has made me prefer an inanimate fucking object to an actual person. Congratulations, you're a fucking idiot, lady. I mean, just what why?
Yeah.
Why?
Someone said, I think Glinzer, I don't know if that's how you say it. It's comic books aren't autobiographies. And it's like, that's why you have like artists draw proportions that are like, this is not reality. If there's just not a place for you to be like, you know what people who like to like live in this imaginary world would love? How I currently look. I didn't come here for this. Like, that's why Thor is usually like super in the they take their shirts off and they have six packs and abs and stuff like that. And that's why it's so ridiculous when I heard what's her face about Black Widow. She was like, I don't like how much this character's been sexualized. And I'm just like, as if you didn't know, signed on for the role, that this was a woman that uses her sexual prowess or whatever, sexuality as a weapon to get what she wants, which is awesome.
The very essence of a femme fatale.
Yeah, a femme fatale. Yeah, exactly. So like, that's like someone who played James Bond being like, I'm pissed that he used his sexuality, that they made him too sexual, and it's just like. Yep. No, that's part of his character. He like gets laid and he gets the information and then he like takes down the thing. Because alpha male stuff. Now you can do bad bitch. Yeah, she's the absolute bad bitch. She kills all those dudes and infiltrates places and gets secrets out of people by and use it. Use that sexuality. But then it turn around and be like, I'm surprised how much they sexualize the character. That's insane. It's a sexy character.
Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
No, I'm just like, it's like Mark Ruffalo bitching about the anger issues of Hulk or something. Like,
I just can't believe they made him so angry all the time. Did you read who the character is?
Yeah, motherfucker, you don't even know who you're playing, do you? Like,
my god.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem with the Black Widow and what Scarlett Johansson said, and it really devalues the lore and mythos of a femme fatale character, which in every right, where a male agent will use brute force and muscle to get his way in, a femme fatale can still be a completely deadly fighter, but can also use her femininity to achieve the means to her end without even firing a single shot until the mission is almost over, if at all, until she just has to clean up the mess. But you know what I mean. But so that's the beauty of characters like that, and having to be that multifaceted. You're beautiful. You're still deadly at the same time is like the ultimate strong female character. You don't have to look like a man or be frumpy to be to be considered feminine. Yeah. Jesus, dude, they took
droid.
They took Mackenzie Davis, who, when she has her hair grown out, is actually really fucking good. She's a good-looking woman, and they just made her look like shite.
We cut her hair in a way that accentuates the tank top that we put her in, which does nothing to help with this area. And it's like,
no,
we're not doing anything to kind of look. Well, we want her to look not even maybe like a her.
Yeah,
no, that was it.
Can I say this was the feminist agenda, was burn in the bra and use what you got and free, be sexually free, and like that was the feminist agenda until women grew penises in the past 10 years. So,
and also, isn't part of being sexual free if you want to flaunt your sexuality and use that and be that kind of person? Shouldn't you be free to do that?
And if you don't want to, why are you taking the fucking role?
and that's it. She did, because she had no problem, and she's like, well, I'm older now, and it's like, bitch, you're 35. Shut the fuck up. There's women in their 40s that are still smoke shows that are like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna flaunt this shit. But that sounds like a great place to end it for the night, right there, on Scarlett Johansson being a complete hypocrite. And there's a reason why that movie's down 67% in its first week. And that's absolutely hilarious. I can't wait till the excuses start. But they've already shot themselves in the foot for that. They've already shot themselves in the foot. Yeah. Let me kick it over to Mr. Tony Tone Dev. Tony, what you got going on, brother man?
Yeah, fuck you, Starfire, and fuck you, Scarlett Johansson. Come over to the Clown World Review and hear me say the F word more on content that isn't for children.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And our very special guest this evening, Chris from It's a Vase Productions.
Hey, I'm also on Geek News Now, but every Monday I do MCU Mondays. We talk about what's happening in the MCU. That happens at 9:30 Eastern on my channel, It's a Vase Productions, and on Geek News Now. Definitely should come by and check it out. We have a lot of fun, and we talk about the Marvel stuff, the good and the bad. I do not let them skate by on stuff. I created a whole boner alert system after that shit they pulled with Ralph Boner in WandaVision.
So bad.
Yeah.
Same mentality that created Geo. They just sat around the writer's room like, what's going to piss these people off?
You almost have to say that must be what they were thinking. It was like, how do we just ruin them?
Let's take these paying customers and we'll take them and we'll take their hard-earned money and just tell them, go fuck yourselves, San Diego. I mean, basically just playing the Ron Burgundy heel role. I'm Tepukuian. I got a couple videos in the hopper. I'm gonna get on editing those as soon as we're done here, so I can have them ready to release for you while I go float down the river in my kayak and drink beer for the next 3 days. So that's what I got going on. There'll be videos. No morning show tomorrow because I'm leaving like first thing in the morning. So yeah, I will be back on Monday with probably a video and then the live show Monday night with guests to be announced. But thank you all in the chat for joining us this evening. I appreciate it. Chris, thank you for joining us. Tony, thank you as always for everything that you do. You guys are awesome. Be sure to make sure you're still subscribed and all that fun stuff. You know how we do. But until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tepukuina, the place to be reviews. I've been here with all of yous. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. And remember, it's better to burn out than fade away.
Boom!